One thing I see a lot of people do when they argue inflation is they take something like the average price of a home 50 years ago and the average income 50 years ago, and they compare that to the average price of a home and the average income now. But that's a big mistake. The reason economists use CPI, the Consumer Price Index, is a loaf of bread or a gallon of milk 50 years ago isn't much different than a loaf of bread or a gallon of milk now. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at houses from 1973 and compare them to now and look at how much bigger and how much better they are now than they were, say, 50 years ago. So again, the data we're going to use is from census.gov, and it goes from 1973 through 2017. Now, the easiest thing to see is that houses are just bigger. In 2017, the median size of a house was 900 square feet larger than a house in 1973. So houses are just bigger. But houses are also better. We can see that half of the houses completed in 1973 had air conditioning, but in 2017, that number was 93%. If we look at bathrooms in 1973, only 19% of homes had 2 or more bathrooms, but in 2017, 37% had 3 or more bathrooms. If we look at bedrooms, the number of houses with 4 or more bedrooms has doubled, and almost all houses have garages, and houses with 2-car garages has almost doubled. Almost every house has some form of heating now. Now I'm going to stop there because I think we get the idea. Houses now are much bigger and much better than they were in 1973 or before then. And that's kind of the big idea here, right? Is when you compare houses, you're not comparing the same thing over time. CPI does a good job because it looks at a gallon of milk or a loaf of bread, and these things don't change much over time. But a house does. A 4-bedroom house with 3 bathrooms, heating and air, and a 2-car garage is much more expensive than a 2-bedroom house with 1 bath, no heating and air, and no garage. And that factors into the price, and that's why the price of houses are so much more expensive now than they were in 1973. It's not just inflation, it's that they're bigger and better as well. So make sure that you're critically thinking about these things and going out and looking at the numbers and the data, or someone else's opinion is going to become your opinion.